Save time and money. Most importantly, extend the life of your mower. Is your lawn tractor or zero-turn mower due for an oil change? Do not put it off. In this video, I will show you some tips to help you change your oil and filter quickly and without a mess. This engine's on a snapper, and it's the LT200 with a 22 horsepower Briggs and Stratton V-twin. But these tips can be used for any engine. First of all, let me show you some of the simple tools you'll need. In some cases, you may or may not need a pair of vice grips. You'll need a wrench. You need a tool similar to this to get the oil filter off. I have a link for all of this down below. When I purchased this, it was years back, and it was actually sold as a jar opener. But I've been changing oil filters at all my vehicles with this tool for years. You'll need a bucket to catch the oil. This is just a 1 gallon antifreeze container, and I use this when I work on my boilers and everything else. Next, you could use a milk container or a 2-liter bottle of soda, and in a couple of minutes I'll show you how we're going to use this, a funnel, and of course the oil and the oil filter itself. When I change the oil on any of these units, I like to run them for a few minutes. This way the oil gets hot, and I find it flows a lot easier. On your unit, if you don't have one of these nipples coming out like this, my recommendation is go to any hardware store, local hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever you have in your area, and buy one of these metal nipples. You can either put an elbow on it like this, or you could put a cap on it. If you just put a cap on it, when you're ready to remove the cap to change the oil, hold it with the vice grips or a pair of channel locks, remove the cap, and you're good to go. On this one, I have the elbow. Now, you could use something like this to catch this oil. You could use a bucket, or you could go buy one of the oil pans specifically made for it. This is what I use. Now we remove this plug. If you do buy one of these nipples, you don't want one that extends too far out. It could be a problem if you mow close to bushes. You could get hung up, you could hit it. You don't want to strip the threads inside that engine block. All right, here we go. Look at this, got water in there. This water, and the reason I'm not starting this engine now is I did some work on this engine. The head gasket went, I had to change the head gasket. It's in the video up above, either here or this way, but it's up there if you want to see, if you want to check out that video. This oil was way overdue to be changed, and you can see when it first came out, you saw the water come out of it. So we just let this drip out. Once it fully drips out, we'll go to the other side and change the oil filter. Not all these Briggs and Strattons have an oil filter. If yours doesn't, don't worry about it. Just make sure you get in the right oil. For my checking up on it, the engines without an oil filter take non-detergent oil, and I use straight dirty weight oil in all my engines. A couple of rags on hand wouldn't hurt either. Even though I said without a mess, sometimes things happen. Okay, we're just about done over here. It really wasn't that much water in there, but my concern was when I cleaned off that cylinder, that debris might have fallen down into the galley and end up in this crankcase. So I didn't want to run the engine with junk in there or water in there. The only reason I have this up on ramps right now is to make the video a little easier for myself. But off camera, I'm going to roll it off the ramps and get the little bit of oil that may be back on this section back here. It shouldn't be much, but I want it cleaned out. And while I was talking, I moved the bucket, hence the rags. Okay, that's about it. Oh, didn't want to do that. Wearing gloves while you do this wouldn't hurt either. Now, if this was hot, you wouldn't see me dip my hand in there the way I just did. would have got a magnet or use one of the wrenches. Okay, so we're done with this on this side. When you go to dispose of this oil, unless you're using it for some projects around the house, you can dispose of this oil at any place that does an oil change, or AutoZone, Advance Auto. Any of those places will take the oil. You may even find somebody that's looking for motor oil because they have used oil burners that they heat their barns or garages with. Let's go to the other side and get to that oil filter. This is where that milk jug comes in. Again, you could use a 1-gallon milk jug or a 2-liter soda bottle. That's what I generally use. I just don't have one on hand. So I'm going to use this. If these aren't on too tight, you can remove them by hand, but it makes it a lot easier using one of these straps. Okay, going about this the wrong way. Wow, that's a first. I never had this slip like this before. I deleted the clip where I got this oil filter off with this wrench. To get this to work properly, I just got a piece of sandpaper, rubbed it down, and it worked fine after that. The new filter is on, but the way I got the filter off, not to make a mess, after all, the topic of the video is how to do a quick and no mess oil change. After you loosen the oil filter with the wrench, get the cut up milk jug, or a 2-liter bottle of soda will also work. And make sure you get it right up to the block. Turn the oil filter. As the oil's coming out, it'll go into the container. Continue to remove the oil filter. Pull it all out together, and it'll eliminate any mess underneath. That's it for this part. Well, I'm glad I waited. When I went to the other side and I took that plug out, a little bit of oil came out, but a lot more water came out of this. That was from a previous video where I replaced the head gasket and I washed the engine down. Here's the new oil filter. And if this is the first time you're doing this, you want to coat this ring, this O-ring, with a little bit of motor oil, clean motor oil. So, got a little bit of oil on it. You don't need much. This just helps it seal. Spit it on. All right, just hand tight. That's probably even a little too tight. A precaution that I'm taking now that I generally don't do, I'm pulling out the spark plug and I'm going to give it a little squirt of oil in this cylinder and the other one. And the only reason I'm doing this is because there was water in there. I'm going to turn the crankshaft by hand. With the spark plugs out, it'll turn freely. It may smoke up a little bit when I start it up, but I want to make sure that cylinder wall's coated. And this over here, this mix, is what I use generally when I have nuts and bolts that are seized. It's a 50-50 mix of acetone and transmission fluid. So once I take care of this, fill it with oil, We'll see how it sounds when it starts up. Okay, after all said and done, let's see if it's going to fire up. All right. Sister's banana. And I had this thing fully charged yesterday. Dead battery. All right, tomorrow's another day. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, let me know. Give it a like, it does help. And post your questions or comments down below. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Hit that Joe Z icon. And not to miss my new videos as I upload them, be sure to ring that bell. Until next time, stay safe.